Scenario number one, the cell phone. Question is, your boyfriend tells you he is going into the shower to clean, and he leaves his cell phone in your care to watch after it, and trusts you not to look through his personal info. Moments later, his phone rings with a notification from his text messages from a past girlfriend in earlier high school days. You unlock his phone, no passcode needed, and see that the message says, "Hey, I still miss you a lot these days. How are you today? I hope all is well and we can get together and hang out soon. Ava." What would you do to solve the problem? You get upset at the thought of your guy hanging with another girl who was one of his best friends ever. So you respond with a phone call directly from his phone to his ex. Phone rings as the ex answers with a sweet voice. "Hey you, I see you got my text. So, about hanging out. You up for it?" You then respond, "I'm not sure who you are or why you're trying to go after my man, but you need to stop and leave him alone. I'm his girlfriend now and should be his whole universe. He don't have time to hang out with you, so I want you to stop contacting him. Goodbye." Then that's when you hang up on her very angry. Bad girlfriend scenario. Where you went wrong. You were easily threatened by this individual in question, so you went and broke up a friendship to spare your feelings for later. You went through his phone without his consent or okay, and felt it was fine just because you're with him. Privacy is still a virtue in relationships. You broke his trust by immediately distrusting him right off the bat when he turns his back. If you're concerned, please ask him about the girl he's been having constant contact with. He may be great friends with more than one girl. Don't feel threatened if it's just a friendship. Okay. You're always his number one priority when it comes to girls or hanging out. If it's him still displaying interest in this person, or her displaying interest in him, then you probably did the right thing. But talk to him about the problem before you decide to confront the other person in question. Do right and evaluate before you perform action that destroys your relationship with him, because he can cut you off real easily for being immediately jealous. Jealousy does not look pretty on you if you're a girl. What would you do to solve the problem? After you've seen the message pop up in his notification, you know very little about Ava and trust that they are great friends with one another. You feel a bit uneasy that they dated before, but you know the relationship between them is nothing more but friends only. You were told not to go through his phone for any reason whatsoever, so you respected that by leaving his phone where it was, unless he told you otherwise, and you continued to do your own thing with a proud look. You thought to yourself, I have to respect what my boyfriend wants. He told me not to go through his phone, so therefore I have to respect that and show him that I trust him at all times and I love him. He knows what he's doing. Good girlfriend scenario. You've responded, reacted, and done everything right completely. You ought to give yourself a round of applause and a pat on the back because you showed respect and trust for your boyfriend. You trust that if anything did happen to that friendship, he'd tell you. You respected his rule and did your job. Any concerns or questions, remember to show honesty and communication with him and just ask. Don't be afraid of anything unless necessary. Scenario number two, the nights out. Question is, you have a tradition with your boyfriend every weekend, seeing how you're both in school on weekdays, that you both are together in person to spend time with each other. He calls you Friday night and tells you that he wants to have a guy's weekend with his boys this upcoming weekend, hoping that you will understand that you two don't spend this weekend together after all, and promises to make it up to you next weekend after school days. How would you respond to this? You hate this idea of your guy wanting to cancel a weekend to spend with you because you're so used to it. You expect him to not only place you first in the first stage of a relationship, but you expect him to place everyone on hold forever until you give an okay to do otherwise. and that you want nothing more but to be with him every time he has free time. You tell him, I'm not cool with this. I thought the weekends was our special time together. Me, you, no one else interferes. We do this every weekend, babe. It's very special to me. I can't believe you want to break off our special time. I just miss you and want to be with you every chance I have. I'm taking it. Tell your guys you're canceling hanging out because you're supposed to be hanging out with me. It's like a tradition that means everything to me. I'm not going to stand here unless you ruin that. He tells you he considers canceling because he understands your feelings, when at the same time, he knows he will be disappointing his friends, who hasn't really hung out besides inside school hours. You smile, told him you love him, and you both hang up your lines. Bad girlfriend scenario, where you went wrong. You overreacted immediately and controlled him without letting him explain himself fully. You're also displaying that you don't really care for other people who wants his time and attention, so you showed that you weren't considering anyone's feelings but your own. In other words, you're being selfish, wanting nothing to do with anybody else, and you're so hung on your special time with your boyfriend that you think nothing else should matter, and you want him all to yourself. Remember, if it was the other way around, when you're with your friends wanting to hang out all the time, and he was the person who wants you all to himself, you'll instantly know how he feels when he wants to compromise your hangout time with your girls. Don't be selfish. He has friends and other people in his life who wants his attention and needs his attention. Also, it's not pretty to be controlling. One of the qualities of a girlfriend is true that she has tendencies to act like his second mother. This only long term. But please cool it with that. You have not been in his life as his girlfriend long enough to have that quality. Yes, you miss him and want time with him. And yes, you're telling him how it hurts you, but you're doing it in the wrong way. That makes him look at you in a certain way that's not good. Even though he tells you he hears you, doesn't mean he's thinking in that way. Also, be a good listener. It makes you look good when you let him explain himself and provides you with a better plan or makeup that you accept that. Finally, wanting time with him or with no one else is okay, but you can only act like that towards engagement or marriage. It's too early to suffocate him. Even though you love him and enjoy your time with him, you also understand that you weren't together long enough to want him all to yourself and not living together. You know he has good friends under you that loves him as much as you, so you accept that he wants to change up the tradition. And also use your opportunity to be happy for him and maybe plan a sleepover with your girls for this weekend. Change it up. You're not engaged nor are you married. Don't suffocate. Allow him his freedom and he'll see the person you are. He will find time to call you even when he's with other people. Therefore, you answer him by saying, if you want to hang out with the guys, it's cool with me. It's your life and it's what you want to do. I won't compromise that because friendships are important and we need to hold on to them as long as we can because in the future, we never know if life will keep us or separate us. I know I miss hanging out with my friends too. We don't have to be together every week. We're still young. It's okay. Go ahead. If you can, call me while you're out with them. I understand if you don't. He smiles over the phone, knowing you accepted his plan and accepted him making later plans because you listened and was understanding. You told each other you love each other and then hangs up to talk again tomorrow. Good girlfriend scenario. Be proud because you open a light to a whole new tradition. You value your time with him, but remember, you're high school teenagers. You have other priorities, families, plans, and friends to think about. You can't do it all. You'll store too much on your plate. The start is you have a relationship, but you can't always have it your way being so young and figuring out things about yourself. You are accepting of your boyfriend wanting something new to do that he hasn't done in a long time. You gave a positive response, understanding you need the same scenario for yourself. Most of all, you understood that if he doesn't get the opportunity to call you, he's enjoying the time he needs with his company. Way to go. You're young still, and you also realize that he may not be your future. Take time and explore around. You're in high school dating just because, not to find your soulmate. That usually happens after high school or as you're in college. Good luck. Scenario number 3, honesty and communication. Question is, your boyfriend invites you to go ice skating with him and his friends on a double date this weekend. You're uncomfortable with this for reasons of injuring yourself, so you text him back saying, I'm sorry, but I'm hanging out with my family this weekend. But thanks for the thoughts. You tell him you're going to be at Cedar Point all weekend with them and appreciate his invite. You put your phone down, then getting a text from your friend saying your plans are to go ice skating at the same time and place as when your boyfriend and party goes. You knew you lied to get out of going ice skating, but when you want to hang with your friends, you're okay with anything they want to do as long as you don't ice skate and get hurt, just as well as them being okay with your plans. Moments later, you're at the ice skating rink with your friends, trying to hide yourself in the sidelines while others ice skate to avoid being seen by your boyfriend and his party. He notices you later and confronts you. He lets you know that he's upset and caught you in your lie to avoid ice skating. He was a bit surprised and disappointed to see you there hiding. He now wants an explanation. What do you tell him? You've been caught in a lie once to get out of going somewhere. Where does this lead you? You apologize, then you tell him, well, you see, my family changed the plan to next weekend and I ended up here with some friends. He's on to you and suspects you're lying again and wants the truth. You then tell him, how can you accuse me? I'm telling you the truth. With a smile to hide away your truth. He still reads you because he knows you, and then the yelling between each other starts to take reign. The argument doesn't stop for at least 15 minutes, and your friends and his hears it. Bad girlfriend scenario. Where you went wrong. You lied, which is a big no-no in relationships. Never lie to get out of an activity you think is dangerous or harmful. It's best to always be honest, whether it hurts or not. The universe and your boyfriend will thank you in the long run. Honesty is the best medicine and saves you from trouble or certain arguments. You lead the lie to a road of an argument between your boyfriend and you. You allowed it to go as far as it did, so you paid a price and made your boyfriend believe because of one lie. He doesn't know where next to believe you or trust you. The universe doesn't trust liars, so don't be one to satisfy your own needs. When you were invited by your friends to go ice skating the same time and place as your boyfriend, that was your punishment for lying and allow him to see the kind of person you were tested out to be. Worst of all, did you even include your friend in? You can't always go along with your friends or their plans, whether you all hang out all the time or not. You also made your boyfriend look bad in many ways. Others include that he asked you for the night first before your friends did and did not clue him in about your friends. It's best to be honest, period. Otherwise, you'll miss a good thing and lose people. You know for a fact you were wrong and know it's childish and irresponsible to lie, especially to someone you care about. You immediately take his hand and tell him, I'm so sorry I lied to you. I know I was wrong. I did it because I was afraid to ice skate. I got invited to come here by my friends last minute. It was a coincidence that it so happened to be the same time and place as you were here. My family never made plans at Cedar Point. I used that as a cover-up to get out of coming here, but still wound up here. I'm sorry. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me, and I swear I will never lie to you again. Your boyfriend hugs you, then tells you he loves you for being honest with him and advises you that you had helped to teach you how himself. He assured you even if you're scared, you had no reason to be. He would hold on to you the entire time and wouldn't let you fall at all. There was no way he was going to let you miss out on all the fun either. Get out there, have fun, and trust that your guy has your back. Good girlfriend scenario. You told the truth. Late, but you told him it's the point. Sometimes the length of time matters at certain scenarios, but the truth is always the best thing. You trust him to teach you and not let you slip on the ice, which is a keeper. Don't let a great and understanding guy like him go so easy. You'll be sorry if you let little things like lies grow or arguments escalate into trust issues into finally your relationship with him ending. You reassured him and asked for forgiveness, which was the smart route after breaking the trust with him by lying. Way to go. You know lying is childish and isn't the way to build. It only tears down your foundation and what people will later think of you. Keep building. If you lie, you pay the price. Scenario number 4. Moving too fast. Question is, you're having a romantic evening with your sweetheart tonight. He insists on making mild plans with you in a week advance, and you haven't been dating 2 months yet. Your high school graduate's about 18 years old, and you love the date plans he's making with you. You think you love this guy forever just because you went through all high school together but recently dated, and went to all events together, including your prom as his dates. As you listen to his future plans, you take him by his hands and tell him you love his plans and that you love him. One of his ideas makes you think of an idea of something you can do for him. What would that something be? You look him in his eyes, gazing and telling him, I like your plans very much. It makes me think of a lot of things. We went through everything together in a short period of time, and I feel like it's time to move to that next step. He takes one good look at you as he continues to speak. Honey, I want us to get married and start a life together. He now glares at you as in you've lost your mind. So, what do you think? I'm telling you this because we're perfect together and I love you. He tells you how confused he is, explaining your relationship, that you're too young, not living together, and haven't dated each other long enough to move into that stage. You disagree strongly with his thought. Then you start to fight about the situation, eventually with your relationship going down south. Him kicking you out of his place and not speaking again. It tore you up in the end. Bad girlfriend scenario. Where you went wrong. You jumped to a big end. It's great that you express yourself, but look at your facts. You're not under the same roof. You haven't dated even a year yet, which you're far from, and you let your feelings come out. Plus, you're still getting to know yourself at the age of 18 and figuring yourself out. You don't even have the time to carry a long-term relationship after high school, especially if you don't have a plan, or if you do and think that your relationship comes before anyone or anything. They're not thinking straight and focusing on you first before even thinking of that kind of future. Get yourself together in what you need to do. Watch your lines and boundaries. You start off right but ended too strongly. You may love your guy and he does for you too, but some guys are okay with dating but not okay with commitment. Even at your age, some still wants to explore around to other girls until they're ready to settle down to only one. Some don't probably have the right dating experience you do when it comes to the dating games. For females, it's like being 5-year-olds. It's normal to feel certain things and say certain things before the time is right, but rushing something that needs time to build and grow destroys that. Let time tell and let the guy chase after and come to you. You know how you feel about this guy. He lights up your entire world and makes you feel like a queen, but you know his boundaries and your own. I like your ideas very much, and I want to give you something in honor of it. You give him a card you made a picture of you two and a friendship ring. He finds everything thoughtful and beautiful, and he thanks you with a hug. With the night just right, you both continue on with your time. Good girlfriend scenario. You didn't overstep your boundaries. You kept it simple with things friends will give each other because you understand how important your dynamic is and want to try to hold on to it for as long as you can. You express how you like his ideas instead of tussling about it. It's normal for couples to fight about where to go on dates for many reasons. It's good to take turns and learn to take part in each other's interests. About having a great time together and want to treat you to a great time. Also on dates, it shouldn't be up to the guy to pay all the time. We live in an equal community. It's good to share the bill or take turns paying for each other on different dates. Some males refuse to let the females pay anything or buy anything for them because they feel to be a gentleman all the time, but do it when you can, even if you have to insist. Most of all, you know how you feel, but again, you know how important it is to keep your boyfriend close and not overstep their boundaries because you be going too far. You did amazing. You can never go wrong with gifts or gestures for him. Scenario number 5. Switching places. Question is, so your boyfriend and you get to his place after a fun Saturday afternoon with some friends, and you fight with him a little about the activity you didn't like. You being jealous because you feel that he has more freedom than you, has more friends than you, and that you assume he's Mr. Perfect living a good life, having money to take you almost everywhere and not really working for it. He tells you he's not perfect. He actually works hard for himself and the people around him. He explains he may have more in his life than you, but he wants to prove you wrong and show you what he has to do in his life to actually achieve and keep the things that he does. So he challenges you to switch places with him for one day to see if his life is really as perfect as you say it is. How would you react to this? So you're thinking in your mind, he wants to go there in lengths to shut you up. So you think, you have a better life than me. Just admit it. Then saying out loud, you really think that all it takes for me to see the truth is to live your life for one day? Ha! You're crazy. Plus, there's nothing to prove because I've seen your life already. He then explains great couples isn't afraid to take on ultimate challenges and how this is one of those. You let out a laugh and then explain how crazy he really sounds and that you don't accept the means to the challenge. The fight continues on where it ends with you leaving his place at your free will and him telling you you're awful for making fun of him and calling him out his name on calling him perfect. He also is thinking he wasted precious time with you for him to be treated like a joke. How low can you go to treat your boyfriend in that way? Bad girlfriend scenario. Where you went wrong. He gave you a chance to see how his perfect life really is and how you went to assumptions. Acted immature and said that you don't need more proof. First of all, how much proof do you require for you not to say insensitive things like that? Second, did you think things would end well because you think you did the right thing? Thirdly, since when was it okay to turn the event in your favor because you think you've seen it all? You're crazy as hell, sorry to say. I don't know how he even gave you a hand in dating in the first place. To make matters worse, you laughed at him when it wasn't even necessary at all. Again, how old are you? 3? Act your age. Teen boys don't look into girls who act pathetically underage unless they are themselves. Don't make fun. Be more sensitive in situations like these. Think before you say, and get the story before you assume. Okay, so he wants to show you more so you're not automatically blind to stating one fact. You agree to take the challenge with a clear head and you say, "You bet I'll take your challenge, but know that I'm still seeing the blind side of the situation. You'll be sorry if you see I'm right. My life doesn't come close to yours." Start it off playful, then ending in a serious tone. He comforts you and explains how you're being silly and how you really need to take views up close to know exactly what he's talking about, and that he believes you'll be the one on your knees apologizing to him after you've seen how hard he works for people, which he cannot wait for. You think to yourself, maybe he'll have a real point to this. I just have to try and trust him. That's the real point to the activity. I hope he does prove me wrong in this. So after, you two shake hands, get into a movie together, until you both successfully fall asleep. Good girlfriend scenario. Congratulations. You made it through the evening without a fight involving your relationship. You accepted switching places with him for one Sunday to see how perfect your guy is. Your enemy called you out after you did to him because he finally got tired of you calling him things that he's not. You both were being playful in certain ways of the scenario. Good for you for not taking it in the wrong way and believing in him. You're a keeper indeed. Keep that up. You also accept that he can prove you wrong, and you're not afraid to be shown to some things that you have been blindsided to. Good sport, and you kept it real at all times. Great. Have fun for your challenge.